Each year, more young people enter Africa's workforce than in the rest of the world combined, says the International Monetary Fund. By 2030, 375 million youth are forecast to join Africa's labor force. With such a high number of young people seeking jobs, ensuring that they find dignified and fulfilling work remains a big challenge for policymakers. To address this, PEP has partnered with the Mastercard Foundation on an initiative to understand what works for youth employment in Africa. Teams of local researchers, including young researchers and policy stakeholders in 10 African countries, are reviewing national youth employment policies and their impacts. This 3-year initiative aims to identify best practices for promoting inclusive, quality youth employment. For instance, in Nigeria, Uganda, and Niger, entrepreneurship was a successful policy practice. Similarly, vocational training to support and integrate youth in the labor market worked across these 3 countries. While ongoing, the research so far has identified several common problems with existing youth employment policies and programs. In many countries, there are multiple but uncoordinated programs. This is true for Kenya, Niger, Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, and Senegal. It means implementation is often inefficient, with duplication in some areas and gaps in others. To resolve this and increase program impact, the local project teams recommend centrally coordinating youth employment initiatives. In Senegal, the team specifically recommended integrating the National Youth Promotion Strategy into the country's second priority action plan. Lack of sufficient investments to promote dignified and fulfilling work for the youth, including the marginalized groups such as young women, persons with disability, the internally displaced, and refugees, is the second problem highlighted in the review. Kenyan policymakers must focus on implementing comprehensive programs that target women and other marginalized groups to see a greater impact. Similarly, in Niger, the researchers recommend including youth and marginalized groups in the policy formulation and implementation processes. Another problem the project teams identified is the lack of sufficient resources and adequate accountability measures for youth employment programs. In Nigeria, the team recommended developing a comprehensive resource mobilization strategy to fund youth employment programs. It would require increased government expenditure while also drawing support from the private sector, philanthropists, and international development organizations. The team in Nigeria suggested creating a single fund with specific budget lines for each type of existing youth employment intervention. In Ghana, the team recommended institutionalizing impact evaluations to monitor and quantify the success of youth employment programs. The evaluation findings should also be used to improve efficiency and inform future programs. Similarly, the Uganda team recommended implementing and reporting on comprehensive monitoring measures. While youth employment measures are on the policy agenda, in practice, the programs are often underfunded and under-implemented. Addressing these problems and inefficiencies is vital to leverage the full potential of Africa's youth, enabling them to build a better future for themselves and the continent.